Hey guys, it is Julie here with JT.Wealth. In today's video, we are chatting about saving for retirement. So let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back and thank you so much for being here. Like I said, today we are chatting about retirement savings. So we are going to take a look at the biggest mistake you could be making when it comes to retirement savings. And then we are going to compare the average retirement savings that the US person has by age group. And right before we jump into all of this retirement talk, this is just your friendly reminder that if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up and leave your thoughts on the topic down below in the comments. Always love hearing from you guys. Other ways you can help support the channel are by checking out some of the great links we have in the description down below. This includes a link to my Patreon page, which gets you access to our Discord chat group, plus some awesome referral links if you're looking to start a new investment account that includes some free stocks and sign-up bonuses. Okay, now let's talk retirement savings. And yes, I know this is not the most exciting topic, but it is a really important one. And we have some really interesting pieces of information in today's video, so make sure to stick it through to the end. Now, like I said, saving for retirement is really important, but it can be challenging even under the best circumstances. And there are a lot of mistakes that should be avoided. And there are a lot of different so-called mistakes that can hinder your retirement savings, from choosing the wrong asset allocation or being unaware of high fees that are eating away at your returns. But the biggest mistake is actually a very common one, and it can make achieving your retirement savings goals extremely difficult. So the single biggest error that you could make that could derail your retirement savings plan is waiting too long to start saving. And this error is an incredibly costly one, and it's one that's impossible to fix. You can always go in and change your asset allocation or investment strategy, but you can never go back in time and start saving earlier. Sadly, waiting even a short time to begin putting aside money is a huge mistake because it has an outsized effect on the amount of money you'll end up with. That's because any delay reduces the amount of compound interest you can earn, and compound interest is one of the key tools that enables you to build wealth. Compounding is sometimes referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, and with good reason. Here's how it works. When you invest money, it earns a return that can be reinvested. You'll then earn a return on the return. So the amount you make grows exponentially. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but the bigger it gets, the more added snow it picks up with each roll. Compound interest has that same effect on your money. You can begin investing a small amount, and your returns will help that balance grow bigger. And the bigger it gets, the more it'll grow, and the faster it will grow. However, you need to get the process started ASAP so your money can start working for you. Even a small delay means many fewer revolutions of your snowball, which means you have to start with a lot more snow or money to end up in the same place. So to help understand how costly of a mistake it can be to wait to start saving for retirement, we're going to take a look at a chart. And this is going to show you the annual amount you need to invest by each age if you want to end up with $1 million nest egg by the time you're 65. So this chart assumes an annual average return of 8%. And you can see if you start investing at 20, you only need to invest $2,396 per year to get that $1 million nest egg by 65. From there, it goes up exponentially. As you can see, waiting even 5 years adds more than $1,000 onto the annual amount that you need to invest to hit that $1 million target. And waiting a decade can more than double the amount you'll need to save. While investing just shy of $2,400 a year should be eminently doable, investing more than $20,000 per year just isn't within reach in majority of situations. So yes, if you are on the upper end of this chart because you're already into your 30s or 40s, you are going to have to work a bit harder to hit that $1 million target than if you had started in your 20s. And while not starting your investment savings early is a mistake, it is not one that you have to continue making. You can and you should start investing today so you can get that snowball rolling and get that compound interest working in your favor. I have said it before and I will continue to say it. The best day to invest was yesterday. The second best is today. So if you are curious about how your retirement savings balance stacks up against others in your age group across the country, we are now going to take a look at the average and median retirement savings by age group. Now, starting off with some very broad numbers, the 2019 survey of consumer finances shows that the average retirement savings for all families is $255,130. The median retirement savings for all families is $65,000. So taken on their own, those numbers aren't entirely helpful, and there's definitely a big difference between the two numbers. So let's start out with a couple disclaimers here. Now, it's important to understand the difference between average versus median when we look at these numbers, as the average is the sum of all of the values divided by how many pieces of data that you have, whereas the median is simply the value that's in the middle. And averages can be heavily skewed by outliers. In other words, the savings overachievers and underachievers in each group. So that's why they also include the median balances. The median can often provide a more representative number than the average, and you'll notice that the median numbers are quite a bit lower than the averages. Now, from our first example here with an average of 500,000 return, if we switch the numbers here and just increase that second to last person up to 2 million, our median stays the same at 100,000, but our average goes up to 757. So let's start with millennials. So in 2019, 45% of families headed by someone under the age of 35 had retirement accounts, which meant here is including IRAs, KIOs, and certain employer-sponsored accounts such as 401ks, 403bs, and thrift savings accounts. Of the families in this age group who have retirement holdings, the average value of those holdings is $30,170, and the median value is $13,000. In other words, 3,352 and 1,444 pieces of $9 avocado toast, respectively. Looking at ages 35 to 44, this age range encompasses the oldest millennials and the youngest of Gen X. More than half, at 56% of households headed by someone of this age, have retirement accounts. The average and median values of this group's retirement holdings are significantly higher of those under the 35 set. These are strong earning years alongside peak spending years. Particularly for those who have kids, dollars may be stretched around paying for childcare, saving for college, and saving for retirement. The average household retirement savings was $131,950, with the median retirement savings at $60,000. Moving up to ages 45 to 54, this group is still part of Gen X, with the oldest members about a decade from what's considered the standard retirement age. About 58% of households headed by someone this age have retirement holdings, and these can be peak earning years, especially for men who see earnings growth until age 55. The company's research shows women top out over a decade earlier at 44. The average household retirement savings is $254,720, with a median retirement savings of $100,000. From ages 55 to 64, we have our baby boomers, and the oldest among them are knocking on retirement's doors, just a couple of short years from Social Security's definition of full retirement age. Only about 54.5% of households headed by a baby boomer have retirement holdings. The average came in at $408,420, with a median savings of $134,000. From ages 65 to 74, the bulk of these households include someone who is in retirement or at least a retirement age. As a result, many are at the stage when they are probably spending rather than accumulating their savings. According to the data, 48% of this age group have retirement accounts. Their average retirement savings came in at $426,070, with a median retirement savings of $164,000. After this point, average and median retirement account values begin to fall, as does the percentage of people who have retirement accounts. For households headed by someone aged 75 or older, the median value of retirement holdings is $83,000, with an average holding of $357,920. Now, some pretty big fine print here, guys. All of those numbers that we just looked at are only based on families who actually have a retirement savings account, and there are a lot of people in every age group who do not. In 2019, only half of Americans had a retirement account. So going back to our average versus median example, what if we included those half of the people that had a zero balance? Our average then goes down to $378,000 and our median down to 2.5. So the actual figures out there are much lower. And so what did these numbers tell you? Well, the big headline here is that most people aren't saving enough for retirement and are entering retirement with very little stashed away. If you're using these numbers that you saw today as your guiding star, you'll likely be in the same state of most of the country, unprepared for retirement. How much you should have saved and how much you should be saving have nothing to do with where others your age stand. It has everything to do with your income, planned retirement spending, expected retirement age, and life expectancy. Now, in the next week or so, I am going to do a follow-up video on how much is actually needed to retire and what that looks like is retirement income. But the biggest takeaway from today's video, guys, is to start investing now. I hear a lot of people say that they don't think they can afford to start saving, but in reality, you can't afford not to. So make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this. What is your retirement savings plan? Have you started early? Do you have an automatic savings plan in place? And how are you ensuring that your savings goals are reached in the future? If you made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up and that you're subscribed to the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and cheers.